everybody, Brickhouse here, and I don't do too many of these political videos like this, but here goes nothing. This is about the situation going on down in Texas, where we have basically the state of Texas at odds with the federal government over securing the border. Now, earlier this week, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4. Justices Amy Coney Barrett and Chief Justice John Roberts, siding with the liberal wing of the Supreme Court, that basically that the state of Texas needs to give access to the border, more specifically a section of the border at Eagle Pass, Texas, so the border control can do their job. And what they mean by do their job is just usher in and process illegal immigrants. So it gives the Border Patrol the authorization to cut the razor wire that the state of Texas has put up to allow more people in. That's the short version of that story. Well, Governor Abbott has all of a sudden grown a set and has told the federal government to basically piss off. In fact, doubling down and putting more razor wire out there to secure the border. See, here's the thing, folks. Yes, it is the president, the executive branch of the government, according to the Constitution, that is supposed to protect the homeland, secure the border, and dealing with immigration. However, when that branch of government, when the president abdicates his authority and doesn't do that, that leaves it up to the states. More specifically, in this case, the state of Texas. So Governor Abbott has declared an invasion and has taken the steps necessary to protect the southern border as it pertains to the state of Texas. Well, the Biden administration doesn't like that. In fact, there are Democrats out there that are saying that President Biden should take control of the National Guard and basically move the Guard out. Or even have them assist in taking control of the border. See, and this is a sticky situation because the National Guard, the governor has the ability to tell the National Guard, hey, go do this, but then the president could supersede his authority and tell the National Guard to get out or stop doing what they're doing. I'm putting all this in layman's terms because I don't want to get into all the gobbledygook of legalese and legal speak where I am not a professional in. So I'm trying to keep this as plain and as simple as possible. Well, since the Supreme Court decision earlier this week, now we have half of U.S. governors siding with the state of Texas saying, hey, we got your back. Of course, there's one outlier out there, and that's Vermont. Vermont Governor Phil Scott, who just so happened voted for Joe Biden in 2020, who for some reason doesn't want to chime in with the rest of the Republican governors. But this is from the Daily Mail. Half of all U.S. governors side with Texas in border dispute over security and say he is leaving country open to invasion from illegal migrants or illegal immigrants. Abbott reasserted Texas's right to protect its own border after the Supreme Court ruled the Biden administration could take down razor wire Texas had installed. Democrats have blasted Abbott. Republican governors from 25 states signed a letter in support of Texas' constitutional right to self-defense. President Biden and his administration have left Americans and our country completely vulnerable, they wrote. So, after the Supreme Court decision, Governor Abbott reasserted the state's right to protect its own border after the Supreme Court ruled the Biden administration could take down the razor wire Texas had installed along high traffic areas of the border. Texas border czar. Why do we have these czars in federal and state government? Why? Put in the comments down below. Let me know why we have czars in federal and state government. Makes no sense. We're in a republic. For crying out loud. Mike Banks told ranchers Wednesday the state could install razor wire on their private property free of charge. The state official told a packed room of ranchers who met just outside of Eagle Pass, Texas. So yeah, Texas is doubling down. Abbott said the federal government failed at its duty to enforce laws and states had every right to step in to protect their borders. President Biden and his administration have left Americans and our country completely vulnerable to unprecedented illegal immigration pouring across the southern border, they wrote. Instead of upholding the rule of law and securing the border, the Biden administration has attacked and sued Texas for stepping up to protect American citizens from historic levels of illegal immigrants, deadly drugs like fentanyl, and terrorists entering our country, it continued. We stand in solidarity with the fellow Governor Greg Abbott and the state of Texas in utilizing every tool and strategy, including razor wire fences, to secure the border. We do it in part because the Biden administration is refusing to enforce immigration laws already on the books and is illegally allowing mass parole across America of migrants who entered our country illegally. See, that's the thing, folks. And that's what this is what the mainstream media does, and this is what some people in federal office do. They conflate illegal immigration with legal immigration and say, well, if you don't like these people coming across the border, you're against all immigrants. No, we're not. I have no problem with somebody coming into this country legally and going through the process of becoming a U.S. citizen. What I have a problem with is people just walking across the border, whether it's from Canada, whether it's from Mexico. And then on top of just walking across the border, not entering the country legally, then getting money handed to them, cell phones handed to them, health care, Social Security cards. And don't tell me that's a conspiracy, because that is happening. So on and so forth. The signatories included several high-profile Republican governors, including former presidential candidates Ron DeSantis of Florida, North Dakota's Doug Burgum, South Dakota's Kristi Noem, Arkansas' Sarah Sanders, 4 governors, Brian Kemp, Joe Lombardo of Nevada, New Hampshire's Chris Sununu, and Virginia's Glenn Youngkin represent states Biden won in the 2020 election. See, that makes no difference. Why put that into the article? Makes no difference that Biden won those states. The fact of the matter is these Republican governors are stepping up and supporting the state of Texas. Abbott again blasted Biden for his dereliction of duty on the border on Thursday. That would be yesterday. The executive branch of the United States has constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books right now. Abbott said President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. The governor is engaged in multiple legal disputes with the Biden administration over its seizure of the section of the U.S. border in Eagle Pass, Texas. This week, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, could tear down razor wire that Abbott had installed along the border in Eagle Pass. Problem is, the Border Patrol agents can't get there because there's National Guard blocking them. Now, this could lead to something that Tim Pool's been talking about for quite a while, and that is civil war. Because what happens? What happens if you have a federal official, a Border Patrol agent, try to take down the razor wire, and the National Guard steps in and says, And then one thing leads to another, and there's the spark. Kind of similar to Fort Sumter at the beginning of the Civil War in 1860. Under Abbott's orders, Texas soldiers fenced off Shelby Park January 10th with razor wire and other fencing, even though the land is owned by the city of Eagle Pass. Abbott claimed the move was meant to stop the historic number of illegal immigrant entries at Shelby Park in recent weeks, which there has been a flood of illegal immigrants, not just in Texas, but also Arizona. Of course, in Arizona, that linguini spine feckless governor there, she ain't going to do a thing about it. That's my opinion. The feud escalated after Border Patrol agents claimed that Texas National Guard troops prevented them from entering the state-controlled area to help save a migrant woman and 2 children from drowning. The state claimed the migrants had already drowned by the time Border Patrol was made aware. Biden's Department of Justice filed a request late Monday with the Supreme Court to force the state to give Border Patrol agents access. The razor wire is part of Abbott's border security plan known as Operation Lone Star. So there you have what's going on in Texas. And even though I think Greg Abbott was a little late in his response, he should have acted sooner than 2021. At least he finally acted. And, you know, all I got to say is, got to support Texas. And all you blue state governors out there, I'm talking about you, Governor Newsom in California. I'm talking about you, Governor Pritzker in Illinois. I'm talking about you, Governor Hochul in New York. I'm talking about you, Governor Whitmer in Michigan. If you truly believe in this country and what this country stands for, you would support the state of Texas. But instead, you'd rather play politics, and you believe in the globalist vision of open borders. So you reap what you sow, I guess. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of this. Again, I don't get into the politics too much when it comes to things like this. But I did want to bring this to your attention if you haven't seen it. And comment down below. Share your thoughts. Tell me what you think. What's going on down in Texas? While you're at it, please take the time to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like what I'm doing, like the content that I'm putting out, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Also, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And with that, I will see you later.